We just got back from one of the most underrated trips we've done in a while. 5 days, 4 completely different places, and Nevada is not what we expected.
Like at all. We went in thinking we kind of knew what Reno and Lake Tahoe were. We left with a list of places we want to go back to.
So this is our full recap of the Reno-Tahoe Territory. We cover Carson Valley, South Lake Tahoe, North Lake Tahoe, and Carson City, all in 5 days, so let's get into it.
The first night when we landed, we headed straight to JT Basque Bar and Dining Room in Gardnerville. This place has been around for over 50 years.
Basque dining is family style with multi-course shared dishes, big portions, really communal and warm. If you've never had it, it's the opposite of a quiet sit-down dinner. It's loud, lively, and the food just keeps coming.
And the Picon Punch was just named the official state drink of Nevada. JT's actually just started canning it. Obviously, we had to try it.
And we stayed at the Carson Valley Inn in Minden, right off the highway, really easy to find, good home base for the whole valley.
She started with $5. I gave her $5. And she ended with $43.50 because she guessed that the roulette would go on the single, like, green zero. And just $1.
I said it was going to be zero. I didn't bet a single time on zero besides that time. And then it was...
And she nailed it. So here we go. We're going to go have lunch with this money.
Day 2 started in the town of Genoa. We had never heard of this place before this trip.
Genoa is Nevada's first permanent non-native settlement, established in 1851 as a trading post on the California Trail. So the whole town is basically living history.
We started at Flutter and Buzz on Main Street. Really good breakfast spot. Opens early and it's the perfect spot before you start exploring.
Then we went to the Genoa Courthouse Museum, and this one surprised us with how much was actually inside.
The building itself is one of Nevada's earliest courthouses, but the exhibits are what got us. The Pony Express room is usually where you start. Genoa was on the route, so the history here is real and local. You're standing in a place that riders actually pass through.
There's also an exhibit on Snowshoe Thompson, a Norwegian immigrant who used skis to cross the Sierra Nevada every winter to deliver mail between Genoa and Placerville, California, before snowplows or before any of that other infrastructure existed. This one guy was just doing it on skis.
And then there's the Ferris wheel exhibit. George Washington Gale Ferris Jr., the man who invented the Ferris wheel, grew up right here in Carson Valley. He looked at that wheel and eventually designed the Ferris wheel for the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago.
So the Ferris wheel has Nevada roots. We didn't know that when we first went.
There's also a Victorian parlor, a country kitchen, original jail cells. It was a really fun museum to explore more about Nevada's history.
After that, we walked through Mormon Station State Historic Park, just down the street. The original 1851 trading post burned down in 1910, so what you see is a reconstruction, but the museum inside has original pioneer-era artifacts. It's a quick stop, but it adds a lot of context to the town.
From Genoa, we drove about 30 minutes over the mountains into South Lake Tahoe, and the first time you see the lake, it really doesn't look real. That blue-green color is something you have to see it in person.
We checked into Edgewood Tahoe Resort right on the lake. The views from the property are some of the best we've seen anywhere.
That afternoon, we had lunch at the bistro, and we explored South Lake on our own. The area's got a lot going on. Beach access, restaurants, trails, and a lot to see. Then we had dinner back at the bistro because the food was genuinely delicious. Day 3 started with breakfast at Red Hut Cafe, a classic Nevada diner. Big portions, quick service, exactly what you want before a morning outside.
Then we went to Secret Cove, and this is one you need to know about.
Secret Cove is on the east shore of Lake Tahoe, about 6 miles south of Incline Village off of Highway 28. There's a short hike, and less than a mile, it drops in elevation toward the inn. And then you come out into this completely secluded cove surrounded by huge granite boulders.
The water there is so clear you can see straight to the bottom. And because you have to hike in, it's nowhere near as crowded as the main beaches.
It's dog friendly too, so if you're coming with a pup, that's a good one to keep in mind.
The hike's short, but a little challenging in some places, but the payoff is massive. Genuinely, it was one of the most beautiful spots that we found on the lake.
After Secret Cove, we drove up to Incline Village and we had lunch at Cutthroat Saloon, which is inside the Hyatt Regency. Everything was really good and we had an amazing meal there.
We checked into the Incline Lodge for the night. It was a really comfortable spot and had a great location for exploring the North Lake.
Dinner was at Big Water Grill. We were higher in elevation and the views were amazing. We could see the lake from our table and we had such a good meal over there.
Day 4 started before the sun even came up. We knew we wanted to find a place to watch sunrise, and we saw the Mount Rose Highway Scenic Overlook was a great spot for it.
You're elevated above the lake looking down at it, and honestly, I had no regrets going there that early. The views were incredible. After that, we went back to Incline Village for breakfast at Sage Leaf Tahoe. Cute spot and such a great menu. A nice easy start before the full day.
Then we visited Sand Harbor State Park. This is one of the busier spots on the Nevada side of the lake. You gotta get there early to get parking because the beach gets extremely busy.
It's a state park on the east shore about 3 miles south of Incline Village. The beach is made up of these huge white granite boulders scattered through the crystal clear water. You can snorkel, swim, kayak, or just sit on the rocks.
From Sand Harbor, we did part of the East Shore Trail, which connects south toward Incline Village along the eastern shore. The trail stays elevated above the lake for most of it, so you get these long views down over the water the whole time. It's one of the more scenic hikes we've done, and it's not a hard trail.
After Sand Harbor, we drove about 35 minutes down to Carson City.
We hit the Fox Brewery and Pub first. It was a great craft brewery that had good food and great beer. It was a nice, easy landing spot when you got into town.
Then we headed to the Nevada State Museum. And this building alone is worth going in for. It's housed in the old U.S. Mint. Carson City had its own branch of the U.S. Mint from 1870 to 1893. Coins minted here have a little CC on them. The building's still the original.
Inside the museum, there are exhibits on Nevada's natural history, Native American history, the Comstock mining era, gaming history, atomic history, really all the little eras and sections that make Nevada unique. The thing that surprised us the most was the mining section. You actually get to dive down into a replica mine, and it has old mine carts. It has some of the exhibits on the kind of jobs that would take place in the mine. It was a really cool spot. And then they had one section where you could turn off the lights and kind of see how dark a mine would really be if you were working down in one.
After the museum, we did the Kit Carson Trail. It's a 2.5-mile self-guided walking tour through Carson City's historic West Side District. You follow the map that you grab at the visitor center, and you can see 48 different stops. Victorian mansions, historic churches, and government buildings from the 1860s.
The audio tour is free on your phone, and it's really well done. You get to learn who built each house and what was happening in Nevada at the time. Some notable stops include the Governor's Mansion, the Orion Clemens house where Mark Twain actually stayed when he was living in Nevada. And then there's the Ferris Mansion, home of the same Ferris family we'd learned about in Genoa earlier in the trip. It was a full circle moment.
That connection really caught us off guard. We had seen the Ferris wheel exhibit in Genoa in a tiny courthouse museum and then walked past the family's actual mansion that same trip. The last stop of the night was the Jack C. Davis Observatory on the Western Nevada College campus. They host what they call star parties. It's open to the public, free to attend, and they have professional-grade telescopes.
This is a real observatory. The people running it have PhDs in physics and astronomy. You're looking through equipment that picks up things that you can't see with the naked eye, and then they explain what you're actually seeing.
They've got a planetary walking trail in the parking lot that's really cool to do while it's still light before the star party starts.
We stayed for hours, and we had a lot of fun learning about all the different things in the night sky.
Last morning, we went to Mom and Pop's Diner in Carson City before we headed to the airport. It's a tropical vibe inside, and it was really nice. Looking back, what stayed with us the most is how different each area felt from the others. Carson Valley, South Tahoe, North Tahoe, and Carson City, they're all within an hour of each other, and they've each got a completely different personality.
You could do this trip in 4 or 5 days and not feel rushed, or spend even more time in any one area depending on what you're into. The outdoor stuff, the history, the food, it's all here.
We'll link everything below, all the places we stayed, the restaurants, the activities. If you have questions, drop them in the comments.
And if you've been to any of these spots and we missed something, let us know, because we will definitely be back.
See you in the next one.